Tehran has issued a stark, blood-chilling warning to President Trump and U.S. forces over mysterious mountain site, signaling that any aggressive action there would trigger severe and immediate consequences. Iranian officials portray the facility as a vital, underground secret whose security they say they are prepared to defend by any means necessary, including, if pushed, going to war to prevent its compromise. Questions now swirl about what is concealed within Pickaxe Mountain, with analysts and intelligence sources speculating whether the site hides strategic weapon stockpiles, command and control facilities, or sensitive research infrastructure. After a recent public threat by Trump targeting Pickaxe Mountain, Iran responded with promises of hell for the United States should any strike be carried out against the site, raising the risk of rapid escalation. A senior Iranian official publicly warned Washington against any attack on the underground facility known as Pickaxe Mountain, saying such a strike would cross a red line and invite serious repercussions. Tehran declared that any U.S. strike on that site would prompt a devastating response, not only aimed at military targets but at American interests across the region. Iranian officials explicitly threatened that U.S. troops in the region and some of Washington's local partners could be made targets if Tehran decides to retaliate. That stern warning comes after President Trump publicly threatened to strike the heavily fortified underground complex, raising tensions and the prospect of rapid escalation. The site referred to as Pickaxe Mountain lies in close proximity to the Natanz uranium enrichment complex, which has long been a focal point of international concern over Iran's nuclear activities. Analysts say the facility is carved deep into the Zagros mountain range, using natural geology and engineered fortifications to provide added protection against aerial or standoff attacks. Tehran has consistently denied U.S. assertions that Pickaxe Mountain houses nuclear-related activities, calling those claims unfounded and politically motivated. Iranian officials have insisted the allegations are a pretext designed to justify potential military action by the United States and its allies, rather than a reflection of verified facts. Western analysts report that networks of tunnels and underground structures at Pickaxe Mountain have attracted intensified intelligence scrutiny as countries try to determine the site's true purpose. As a result, the facility has emerged as a major flashpoint in an increasingly fraught U.S.-Iran nuclear standoff, where miscalculation could quickly spiral into broader confrontation. Iran has expanded its retaliation beyond U.S. forces, with American allies across the Gulf now finding themselves directly in the line of fire. As Washington continues its military campaign, Iran's Revolutionary Guard says it has widened the battlefield with fresh missile and drone attacks. Air raid sirens echoed across Bahrain after Iran claimed it had struck key U.S.-linked military facilities in the kingdom. Bahrain's Interior Ministry said, and I quote, "The alarm siren has been activated. We urge citizens and residents to remain calm, head to the nearest safe location, and follow updates through official channels," unquote. Iran says a coordinated missile and drone campaign targeted American military facilities across the Gulf region. Tehran claims several U.S. military locations in Bahrain, Kuwait, and Jordan were struck as part of its latest retaliation. The Iranian response followed another wave of U.S. strikes targeting military infrastructure across southern Iran. U.S. Central Command statement read, and I quote, "U.S. Central Command, CENTCOM, completed the latest wave of strikes against Iran at 10:15 p.m. ET on July 13th. During the 5-hour mission, U.S. forces successfully struck military targets across Iran including Bushehr, Chabahar, Jask, Konarak, Abu Musa, and Bandar Abbas to further degrade Iran's ability to attack commercial shipping. CENTCOM forces employed precision munitions against Iranian coastal defense systems, missile and drone sites, and maritime capabilities. More than 50,000 U.S. service members are currently deployed across the Middle East. American forces remain vigilant, lethal, and ready," unquote. Iran says every future American strike will trigger an even stronger military response under its newly announced retaliation doctrine. Tehran insists the conflict is entering a more dangerous phase, claiming successful attacks on American military infrastructure. IRGC's statement read, and I quote, "The Mujahid nation and always in the scene of Dear Iran, the child-killing American army, following the defeat last night in the Strait of Hormuz, launched an air attack on coastal stations and a number of other military centers in the southern regions of the country. In the first phase of the response to the enemy aggression, the zealous fighters of the IRGC Navy in the second wave of Operation Nasr II, under the code of Mubarak al-Lesserat al-Hussein, targeted several weapon support warehouses, the satellite communication center and the residence building of the American forces in Jafir base in Bahrain and smashed them with their missiles and drones. The noble and Muslim nation of Jordan, early today, in the third phase of the second wave of Operation Nasr II, Barmos Yoltsarat al-Hussein, A.S. The fighters of Islam targeted the important facilities and the location of the American enemy in an airbase occupied by the American child-killing army in your soil, which was used to attack us, with ballistic missiles and punish the American criminals for their actions. On the first day of these aggressions, the arrogant American regime also used these bases to dismember 186 innocent schoolchildren and their teachers in Minab. You know very well that we not only have no enmity with your country, but we love you noble people very much. You, more than any other nation, understand the pain and oppression of the Palestinian nation and know about the crimes of the Zionist regime in the killing of 70,000 Palestinians, including 20,000 children, in Gaza, which took place with the direct intervention of the United States. Your serious demand for the dismantling of the bases of the American occupation in the region is a great help to save the Palestinian people and return security to the region. It is our desire to make Jordan proud, unquote. Even as tensions escalated, President Donald Trump insisted that the United States would maintain control over the Strait of Hormuz and ensure freedom of navigation through the strategic waterway.
We've demolished their military. We're hitting them very hard. We had a deal yesterday or the day before yesterday. It was all done. And then they broke up that deal immediately because they found out there was something in the deal they didn't like. And they're wired differently, and we're not going to put up with it. We are just going forward. We're attacking them tonight. We're taking out all of their capability for anything having to do with the Strait, with the Hormuz Strait. And I think in the end, we will end up just controlling the whole thing. And what they're doing is being very foolish, very stupid, and they've treated people horribly. They've killed 52,000 protesters so far that we can determine. It might be more than that, but 52,000 protesters have been killed. And it's really a terrible situation. But we'll have it under control very quickly. Yeah.
$25 करोड़ गरीब गरीबी को परास्त करके बाहर निकले।
For the good of our nation, let's work together and let's truly make America great again.
The fastest news breaks.
Requested PM saying that look, you will have to speak to Putin and to Zelensky.
The biggest news makers.
The relationship with India is probably the most important bilateral relationship the U.S. will have for the rest of this century.
The capital delivered quite an election result today.
Expert analysis.
The million-dollar question today is how to stop this dance of death.
Ground reports.
I'm standing at the crossroad of the Kumbh Mela. Behind me are more than 100 entry guards.
Long-form interviews.
Exclusionary politics is reflected in Manipur case as well. You don't bother because this is a small state.
Deep dive into burning issues.
It's often said DRC could be the richest country in the whole world. It's because of what sits underneath.
Why exactly did the US topple the Sheikh Hasina government?
HT videos. We don't just break news, we break it down.